Hey guys.
We went to go see The Lobster. It was a movie we just sat through. It was about 2 hours long, and here we are reviewing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This movie I'm sure has its audience.
I'm sure, and I'd say deservedly so. I can't say it was a bad movie,
No, honestly, no.
but
It's the kind of movie that if I was watching this at home, I wouldn't have watched the whole thing. And that's
I'd have had to have been pretty stoned.
then I definitely probably wouldn't have been watching it. I'd probably be asleep.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff I like about this movie.
I liked everything about the movie except for the tone of the movie, which was just...
I hate negatively reviewing a movie like this because this is the kind of movie that it's the kind of movie where so many assholes are gonna pretend to be smarter than you because they liked it and you didn't. That is exactly the kind of fucking movie this is.
It really is. And the sad thing is, everything about this movie was really good except for no one emotes in it, and I'm sure that's the fucking
No,
point.
it absolutely is the point. I get it. I do.
It's the point, yes, that no one emotes in it. But fuck, is it just dry? Like, since no one's emoting, there's no sense of urgency or caring or anything.
I didn't give a shit. I didn't give a shit. I totally understood the point of why they were talking like this. But as a detriment to the film, I didn't care about a single character. Didn't care about their situation. Didn't give a fuck about anybody.
The only character they let emote in the entire thing is John C. Reilly.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Barely in it.
And the dog.
Yeah, the dog.
And the dog. Yeah, and it's so at first the movie was so the whole movie is dry as fuck. It's one of the driest movies I've ever seen in my life.
And it makes perfect sense in the first act.
At first I was with it. At first I was like,
the first act of the movie, I was like, okay, cool. When this hits its stride, this is gonna have a night. No,
that never happens.
Yeah.
It picks that tone and settles on it through the whole thing. And at first I was like, this is kind of funny. You know, they're saying really weird, outlandish stuff, but doing it very dry, very emotionless, very monotone. You know, things like, I wouldn't be too worried if I were you when you turn into an animal. Like, you know, and things like Colin Farrell kicking a little girl in the knee, and I was with that. I was like, I'm getting a few laughs here and there. Got old fast. Once it hit about halfway through, and there was no sign of this changing, no sign of any kind of change in the delivery, the dialogue, the way that they're talking, I got bored. It bored me. I was drifting in and out. I couldn't give a fuck about what they were saying. I certainly didn't give a fuck about them as characters. It was like watching like a public access cooking show.
No, that'd be entertaining.
And at least that would only be like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This is 2 hours long. Once it got towards the middle, I'm like, I'm not feeling this anymore. This is getting old. And once it got to the end, when, man, did I not give a fuck how or why or when this movie would end. But when it ended, I'm like, I can't do it. I've had enough. I've checked out. I just honestly want to leave. This isn't for me. I'm sure, yeah, it's going to have its fans and whatnot that are going to like what they did with the acting choices and acting direction, but I didn't. It rendered the movie really boring to me, really, I just didn't care.
And
Just
that's
didn't give a shit.
and it's one of those movies that, sadly, you're right. I don't care either.
Mm-hmm.
But I sat through the whole, first act. I was like, okay, this is good. But they needed that change. They needed an emotional context to get, and it didn't happen. And the sad thing is, everything else about the movie, the storylines, the concepts,
The direction.
even the music.
Yeah.
Just let the fucking actors emote a little bit, especially when you have a good cast.
Man, I wish someone like Wes Anderson made this. I
Yeah.
do. Or if this was a 70s film, Stanley Kubrick. Just, I don't know. Someone to give the actors different directing choices. I get there's a reason for it. Just didn't like it. Just didn't.
Yeah, no, I understand the concept. The concept is, no matter what type of oppressive society you're in, blah, 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 blah. You can do that and still let the characters be fucking human.
Mm-hmm. So the synopsis of the movie is it's sometime in the future. There's this hotel that Colin Farrell is at, and if you are single in this society, you're at this hotel and you have about 45 days to find yourself a mate. And if you don't...
So not just find yourself a mate, to fall in love.
To fall in love. And if you don't, you're going to get turned into an animal. I mean, you get to choose what, and he chooses a lobster because they live about 100 years.
And he likes the sea.
He likes the sea, so, lobsters is his choice. I would have been like, I want to be a lobster. Why? Do you like the sea? No, just a big B-52s fan.
I mean, who doesn't choose an apex predator?
Yeah.
Like,
I want to be a fucking bear.
no, seriously.
Yeah.
It's like, make me a fucking shark. Just make me a shark.
As it was kind of going and my mind was wandering, which it did a lot in this movie, I was kind of like, I really sort of don't see the dilemma here, because it seems like when a couple of people would get to their final days in this hotel, they could probably easily just be like, hey, look, all right, like, I really don't want to become an animal, all right? Do you think you and I could just work something out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be an animal. I'm guessing you don't. Let's just,
But they don't have any emotions, so, I mean...
And people do kind of, fake different things to have in common with another person, like Colin Farrell pretending to be a sociopath, and one of his friends there who constantly knocks himself in the nose so he can have stuff in common with a girl there who has frequent nosebleeds. I mean, that's interesting stuff. Again, I'm sort of like, yeah, if you get to like the last day and you don't have anybody, just talk it out with another person who maybe is also their last day. Like, sure. And there is funny lines there that are delivered dry, because this is early in the movie. Like when the lady says, if talking out your problems doesn't work, don't worry, we'll give you kids. Like, but that was early on in the movie when that was kind of working for me. But
no, it's at the end of the first act. They needed, once he gets out of that hotel, there needed to be an emotional change.
I still didn't give a fuck when he got out of the hotel. When he got out of the hotel, I was like, this situation is worse than being in the hotel when he's with the loners. Yeah.
Well, okay, and eventually he does fall in love with Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where the emotional change needed to happen. But instead of, it's just, they have something in common and they go through these weird motions, but they still don't seem to really give a fuck.
Not really, because it's still the same dry, emotionless, wooden, monotone delivery. Like, it all feels like when you see, like, a spoof of a student film.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like, that stereotypical kind of, like, art school delivery. that you might see in a comedy show that's making fun of something like this.
It needed to be in black and white and have a lot more Dutch angles, and it would have been fucking right in there.
A lot more clowns flipping pancakes. Look, there's weird, pretentious stuff that I like a lot. I don't want to come across like I just don't like this movie because, like, you know, it's got a bit of pretension to it.
No, pretension's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's you still gotta be entertaining.
This was not entertaining. God damn, was I bored through 60-70% of this movie. Once it got past about the half-hour mark, I couldn't do it, man. I tried. Because it is, like, the angles are good. It's well shot. There's some beautiful cinematography in the movie. And I do, as silly as it is, I like the plot line of the movie. I was looking forward to seeing this. The trailer was quirky. The plot is quirky as hell. God damn. I was just glad it was over.
Yeah, it's... You know, the part of my brain was sitting there going, you should have liked this. Why didn't you like it? And it was just like, because... didn't make... At the end of the day, I just want to be fucking entertained by a movie. Good or bad, I just want to be fucking entertained.
At the end of the day, I just want someone I give a shit about. Yeah. I just want someone in there, some character, something that I can give a shit about. I don't have to relate to them. I just gotta give a fuck. I just gotta give a fuck about their story, their journey, or something, anything. And it sucks too because goddamn I love Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Like, you put Colin Farrell in a movie and you just have him monotone as shit through the whole thing. Oh, man. This feels like if you took this script and in much better hands, who could actually let the actors do something. This feels like it would have been like one of those cool, like, weird Robin Williams dramas. Yeah. Like him in the Colin Farrell part. Like, yeah. I could easily see that.
You know who would have been great at directing this movie? Speaking of weird Robin Williams, like, dramas? Fucking Bobcat Goldthwait. Yeah. Give this movie to Bobcat.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Fucking
double feature with World's Greatest Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. I abso-fucking-lutely.
Triple feature with Shakes the Clown.
and if there's time, Hot to Trot.
Yes, well, you know. Mm-hmm. He didn't direct that one, but...
No. Did he direct Shakes the Clown?
I believe he did.
Oh, okay.
I think he did.
I haven't seen that in a while. I haven't seen Shakes the Clown in a long time.
No, it's been a really long time.
Yeah. So what if this movie seems up your... I don't know, the movie seemed up my alley and I didn't like it.
Me too. I was really looking forward to it.
I don't know if you can get past how the line delivery and all that.
It's a really interesting concept. Like, and it's really well made. Mm-hmm. Like, the cinematographer was, for a lot of still shots, really good. I mean,
totally. This is, you know what? I can't sit here and say, like, go out to the theaters and see this. I absolutely cannot do that. But
no, it's a good. It's a Netflix movie.
Yeah, and my reason for saying that is one, I didn't like it, so I'm not going to recommend seeing it in theaters. But also, if it's on Netflix and you watch 20 minutes or a half hour with this and you are completely 100% sold, stick with it. But if you hit that point and you're not having it, you can at least shut it off. Because if you're not having it, like, at that point into the movie, it's not going to get better. It isn't at all. But, you know, if If you like it, right on. I know a few people who really like this movie.
I know a few too, and I don't judge them for it.
No.
I can see
no.
why
Yeah.
people are liking it.
I can too.
I can also completely understand absolutely loathing everything about it. I'm somewhere in the middle, personally, right now.
No, I don't have any hatred or anything like that. This movie isn't going to be on my worst list by any stretch of the imagination.
No, mine either. Well, I haven't seen a lot this year.
Oh, we got to start sending you this is more bad shit.
Yeah, well, I got some time.
There's plenty of time, yeah.
It's early in the year. We got 6 more months of bad movies. So, I mean,
tomorrow we've got Finding Dory, which I probably will have more lobsters in it than this movie did.
Yeah.
What, talk about disappointment. I wanted this to turn into like, can you imagine going to someone going to see this movie as thinking it was going to be something like Tusk? When's he going to turn into the fucking lobster? What the fuck? I don't even like Tusk. But I wasn't as bored during Tusk as I was during this fucking movie.
Yeah, at least during Tusk, I could sit there and go, Kevin Smith, I liked your movies a lot more when you didn't smoke weed.
Right. You seen the trailer for Yoga Hosers?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll give the man this. He's reached a point where he is doing whatever the fuck he wants.
I respect that.
However the fuck he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
So, good for him.
Yeah, I respect that.
I don't think he's a bad director. I just think his choices have gotten weird, and I think it's just because he's reached a point where he goes, fuck it, I can.
Fuck it, I can, and I'm really fucking high.
Yeah.
That's it. Just...
But
write something where you're not stoned, man. Fucking Yoga Hosers, what the fuck is that? Jesus Christ. And I say that as somebody who's looking forward to Sausage Party.
Yeah. Yeah, Sausage Party looks fun.
I'm looking forward to
it. Kevin, he's going to do that Buckaroo Banzai TV series. And
right on.
I kind of think he's the right man for the job.
Man. Alright, so yeah, tomorrow is Finding Dory and Central Intelligence.
Yeah.
Alright, anything else?
I got nothing, man.
Yeah.
This is
yeah, I think I'm good. See ya.